1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up.
Do you know what real food is?
Real food challenge.
Real food in general.
Real food in general. I guess my concept of real food would be something organic with no chemicals being introduced during the actual growth period or after that or beforehand. Just an open phrase.
Do you know what real food is? Or what's your concept of like real food?
No idea. I have no idea what real food is. Which up on campus?
Just like real food. Like if you heard the term real food, what would you think of?
I guess I think of when grandma's cooking. Not no cooking. My cooking as far as not blood cooking, my cooking.
Have you ever gone to a farmer's market?
Yes, back at home we have a really great farmer's market by me that I hit up every single weekend when it's there. They have a lot of really great products that I always go back and see my same favorite vendors just to, see how their farms and everything are doing, and it's always a really fun time.
When we think about global warming, we think about transportation, we think about how we heat our houses. But in fact, how we eat has just as big an impact on climate change. The average item of food in America has traveled 1,500 miles from the farm to your plate. It's burned up an incredible amount of fossil fuel just to get there. If you're eating lettuce, say, in New York that's been grown in California, one of those bags of pre-washed mixed lettuce, it takes 56 calories of fossil fuel energy to deliver 1 calorie of food energy to your plate. For the consumer to understand how much energy goes into their food, I think all they have to understand is, if it's local, it's less, and if it is unprocessed. A lot of the energy in our food comes from processing. All the complicated steps needed to make a Twinkie, all use vast amounts of energy. There are a great many other benefits to eating locally besides conserving energy. There is, I think, the very important benefit of keeping farmers in business. Farmers add a lot to a community. They have great wisdom about the natural world. And then there is the view. There's a wonderful bumper sticker in Europe called Eat Your View. And the premise is that if you don't support these agricultural landscapes around you, they will be sprawled. They will be covered with houses and highways and shopping malls. And the way to keep them open is to eat from the farms that constitute that view. And that's true. I mean, that's how you preserve those agricultural landscapes, is eating from those farms.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool if we could have organic foods. Anything locally grown would be pretty nice.
Have you ever looked at something that you've eaten and thought, like, where did this come from? Like when you bite into your apple, are you ever like, wonder where this came from?
I always think that. Whenever I filled my tank also, I always think of where that gas came from. I do like to check where food comes from, on fruit in particular, because it always amazes me how far they travel to get here. Like bananas from Brazil, that always fascinates me how different countries have different specialties of exporting crops, but that's really because I'm nerdy in political science. And I like to think, whenever I eat beef, I think of the cattle farms in the West, how huge they are, pretty much inefficient as a whole, but nonetheless, pretty amazing that the food that I'm eating has literally traveled so far to get to me. So.
When you are a consumer, or a shopper at a store, do you ever really consider the implications of your actions? you're buying something that was like your Nike shoes, you bought them, do you have any idea, you know, like the sweat, the tears, the unfair working conditions that went into making those shoes?
I'm highly aware of products I buy and where they come from. For instance, like Apple iPods, I know that their factory in China has one of the highest suicide rates as factory workers in the world.
But does that impact you buying it, or do you buy it anyways?
It does not impact me buying it. I'm very aware of where my products are coming from, but as far as impacting whether I'm going to buy it, it really doesn't have any. I know that sounds bad.